This is panoramic view from the rear seat. The switches are clean and flat using fabric material for modern looks and with a dial to eliminate the shift lever. Just full of the essence of futuristic design. What the glossy blacks makes luxurious or previous generations luxury. Maybe different evaluation for each person. The age of EV is coming, even if we don't want to. Now, what do you want for your car? Design, drivability, or luxury? At least, you don't want to drive a boring car, do you? This is Toyota bZ4X. How about actual performance? Good evening guys, I'm KAMPAC Daddy. Today I'm gonna review the 2022 new Toyota bZ4X exterior and interior chapter, reporting from Japan. This Toyota bZ4X with futuristic design and Toyota's EV. So many of you thinking, I'm very interested. Well, I won't buy it anyway. It looks like super cool urban SUV with a slanted nose similar to Lexus. The body size is 46 and 90mm in length, 1860 in width, and 1650 in height. The minimum turning radius is 5.6 meters. The brochure says, suitable for narrow street and U-turns. Really? I hope so. Including two-tone, there are a total of 11 color variations. My personal favorite design point is the side. The side silhouette is super cool. With a long and slanted nose, which it looks like arrow could run through the air. The bumpy character lines are used to express muscular shadows. This is 20-inch aluminum wheel looks like. The suspension is strapped on the front wheel and double wishbone on the rear. Oops, the power inlet is here. Oh, I gotcha. There are two separate ports on the left and right side for normal and rapid power supply. Isn't this little confusing to use? What do you think of this? Now let's focus on the front. The biggest difference from Subaru SOLTERRA is this front face. It's an EV-like mask with no air intakes. Like the GR86 and BRZ, this car was co-developed by Toyota and Subaru. However, since it is not engine-powered car, so this time Toyota took the lead in development. On a side note, the bZ4X is positioned as one of the bZ series, of which 7 models are planned to be introduced by 2025. bZ stands for Beyond Zero, 4 stands for body size, and the X for body type. So, in other words, this car is positioned as a middle-sized SUV in the bZ series. So, if it were compact coupe, it would be bZ2C. It's hard to say. The LED front lights are sharp with beautiful crystal looks. Well, honestly, it looks common and less playful. The rear is also really cool. It's square and futuristic looks, like a Ferrari Testarossa. I wonder if the same designer might have designed the rear of the Prius. This is the lighting pattern for you. Here we go. Looking at the engine compartment, under the bonnet. The powertrain is a lithium-ion battery and 2 motor front and rear. Since this is 4WD model, maximum output is 109 horsepower both front and rear. Maximum torque is 169 Nm both front and rear. The transmission is E-axle, a special gearbox made by Nippon Densan. This is a perfect example of the domestic manufacturer, Toyota. Next, the interior. The luggage space is large enough to hold 3 golf bags. Under the floor there are cable, etc., so it's a bit untidy. I wonder if it's possible to make retractable cord like good old vacuum cleaner. Yeah, yellow tape and red tape. The rear seats are almost fully flat when folded down. And there are AC power supply and convenience hooks, so I think this is a lovely space for overnight stay users. Open the massive door. The door linings are not decorated with stitching or other premium looking decorations, but they are not cheap. It looks simple is the best. The armrest area is soft, while the upper part is a little hard. Not sure if it can be called soft pad or not. Now let's get in. The rear seat space feels very spacious with the freedom of the glass roof. In front of the knee is also wide enough. However, the battery is located under the floor, so the foot space is narrow, and it feels seat is very low. I have to cross my legs to relax. I guess we have no choice but to place lithium-ion battery under the floor. Without the breakthrough in the battery technology, such as an all-individual battery, there are still issues to be solved in terms of comfort. I guess Toyota is planning their EV lineups based on their prediction of when this technology will be established. At the moment, the SUV is a real solution for electric vehicle. But well, the floor is flat, so easy to move sideways and to sit on an angle. It means it's easy to take care of the baby in the car. The room lamps have an extra switch, which is nice for moms. The armrests are large and comfortable. The cup holder is shaped so that baby's bottle will fall over. First-time viewers should be confused by now. This channel is actually a family channel. Let's do a dandy check from the daddy's viewpoint. I put the basic size A-type stroller in it. You can place it vertically and even horizontally. Also, the height is very easy to change the baby's diaper. Next, the car seat. The roof and seat height is just fine, so you can easily put the baby in and out. Besides, since the C-pillar is hollowed out, it's possible to do so even if the door is open only one notch in a narrow parking lot. This is very nice touch. Was it like that the Ioniq 5, which I reviewed before? By the way, that video got very exciting in the comment section as soon as the explode incident occurred. You guys are too much joking. Do not laugh at someone's mistakes. Child locks are available on both sides. There are also ISOFIX brackets. Here is a rear view from an adult and a little child seated in a kid's seat. The outside is quite easy to see, so you can see fire engine on a police car, something like that. Now, this bZ4X is priced at 6 to 6.5 million yen in Japan. For this price, you would expect luxury, wouldn't you? But the blinker lever is very ordinary and does not feel accurate. It doesn't feel like luxury car when you touch it. Well, the light switches around the overhead console also look like they are taken from the Corolla Cross. In contrast, the window switches are very comfortable to touch. The edges don't sting my fingertips and are so smooth. And the rear window, I wonder if you can notice, it turns down slowly before it closes. This means the motor is controlled to close gently. I guess those electric parts are from Lexus. In other words, this car has both expensive parts and not so expensive parts. The center console also rattles a bit. I think the texture is nice, but there are a few of poor workmanship here and there. But it's 6 million yen, right? I'm sure there will be more than few complaints when you think about it that way. If the luxury position is Lexus, bZ4X gives me the impression that its position is a little unclear. Next, the front seat. The doorknobs are standard. It's not an electric pop-up. The lining is the same taste at the rear. There is no material differentiation. Overall view is like this. Now let's get in. The first thing that catch my eye is this dial. The shift gate is now a dial type. It's easier to understand than the shift gate in the Prius, so it was quite good when I use it. Since it's an EV, there is no need to physically connect the shifter to the transmission. So there is a tunnel-like straight space.
The age of convenience.
The steering wheel area looks very advanced, but it's kind of old-fashioned. What is it? Like a good old tube TV? Ah, I got it, that's it. It looks like center monitor of the second generation Prius. See, do you think so? For this round type steering wheel, it's hard to see the monitor display unless it's this way. Also, the display is too small to begin with. This speedometer is futuristic and cool, but there is nothing in this area here, so that means dead space. I don't like this personally. For example, put the indicator or sensor warning lights on either side of here. Do you know Knight Rider? It's a drama that used to be on TV, and it's like this. Of course, it doesn't have to be so fancy, but since there is so much space, I thought it would be nice to have some kind of infotainment system. Seat position is of course electric. Throttle is organ pedal type, tilt and telescopic is manual. The driving position is also no complaints. No toes hitting and nicely braking position to step on. The center console has a large easy-to-see touch display. Most of the AC control switches are touch buttons as well. It's flat design and cool, but the usability... well, there are many things I want to say. I will talk about it in the next test drive chapter. Electric parking, various mode switches and shift dials. The glossy black lid opens to reveal wireless charging tray. The cover is skeletonized, super cool. The texture is luxurious, but not exactly modern. I guess it's not the latest futuristic use of materials. Glossy black everywhere. I wiped it off for this filming, but there are finger marks by the previous drivers all over the place. Ugh. If you don't keep eyeglass wipes handy, you'll be covered in small scratches. And also, there are many hard-to-clean areas. Of course, wireless charging is convenient, but dust tends to settle on it. And there is no lava tray, so it will rattle. Otherwise, here, a little bump around the cup tray, so dust is noticeable. And here. I'm sure it will get dirty soon after a month or two after you buy it. I think it's a stress who like to keep things clean. Digital in the mirror on the overhead console. Like the Corolla Cross, this grass roof is still nice. So, how was it? Toyota new bZ4X exterior interior chapter. The exterior was very cool without question, and the interior did its best. But if you got into the car thinking it was luxury car, it gives the impression of being tiggly. Next time I'll be taking you on the test drive. How was the ride of this bZ4X? Please subscribe and wait a few days. Even if you become a dad, please drive that you think will be cool car. Now to daddy and mommies around the world, good job today. See you in the next video. Bye bye.